Hey everyone, J Pixels the Galar Lover 022 here, and today I'm gonna go over my Pokemon Shield playthrough and what starter I chose, and what other 5 Pokemon, along with the other Pokemon I caught and used. So yeah, let's get right into it. But before we do, let's talk about fun facts about Sword and Shield. I played Pokemon Sword and Shield back in June 2022, where Pokemon Sword was my first ever Pokemon game. Ever since I got hooked into Pokemon in 2022, I knew I wanted to get a Pokemon game, so yeah. And my starter was Scorbunny. But we're not going to talk about my Pokemon Sword playthrough, because I also played the Pokemon Shield gameplay as well. So let's start. My first Pokemon was Sobble, which is my starter who I evolved it into Inteleon. Its moveset was Snipe Shot, U-Turn, Air Slash, and Mud Shot. Now guys, I do not know the moveset by memory, so yeah. But this Pokemon came through, it was able to beat the fire type gym, and yup, that is basically what it did for me. And it came in clutch sometimes, and most of the time as well. I also I also use Rabombi, which I named Busy Bee. I caught it from a Dynamax raid as a cutie fly, and then I evolved it into Rabombi. Its movesets was Bug Buzz, Dazzling Gleam, Stunt Spore, and I don't know what the other fourth move was, but yeah. It was really good, and I used it in the grass gym. I think it was in the grass gym. And yeah. I also used a Vanillite, which is an ice type Pokemon that I used during the Pokemon Shield gameplay, and its ice type moves were so good. I think I kept it into a Vanillish, and yeah. I also use Pokemon such as Malamar, and its move set was Superpower, Topsy Turvy, Night Slash, and Psybeam. Guys, I do not know the move sets of these things, so yeah. But I caught it as a Inkay, and to evolve Malamar, you have to turn your device around. Depending on what game you're playing that has Malamar, you turn your device around, and then it evolves into Malamar. So yeah. Then I also used a Rotom, and I gave it the fan form, and yeah. Its movesets was Thunderbolt, Air Slash, Shadow Ball, and Thunder Wave, I think. So yeah. So that was Rotom Fan, and it was able to and fun fact, it was able to defeat Leon's Charizard because it had the electric type advantage with Max Lightning. So yeah. So, now let's move on to my next Pokemon. That's being Blossom. This was my grass type Pokemon, and I believe I caught it as a Blossom, and yeah. Its moveset was Crivadance, Giga Drain, Acid, and Moonblast. And it's really good. It's a really good Pokemon, and it's a really fun Pokemon to use, so I used it during my playthrough. So yeah. And there's one more Pokemon I also used. That was... I actually used 2 more Pokemon. The first Pokemon I used was Excadrill. And it was really good against the... I remember using it during the battle against the Dragon-type gym leader. And I had a moveset of Sandstorm, Iron Head, Earthquake... No, not Earthquake. Sandstorm, Iron Head, Drill Run, and Rock Slide. And the reason why I had Sandstorm on this Excadrill is because it had the ability Sand Rush. Sand Rush is an ability that when you're in the Sandstorm, it doubles your speed stat, making sure it outspeeds Pokemon that would normally outspeed Excadrill. And yeah. Lastly, I wanted to use Hawlucha. So I caught a Hawlucha, And yeah, its moveset was Flying Press, Bounce, Taunts, and Roost. And I used it during the Dark type gym against Obstagoon and Scrafty. So yeah, guys, that's basically the Pokemon I used during my Pokemon Shield gameplay. I'm still playing this game. I have completed everything. And yeah, I'm now into Pokemon competitive battles on Pokemon Sword. So if you guys like this video and comment what you think about my team and Pokemon I used. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.